boots. Check it out. I had to turn around.
Breathe.
Puppy. Big puppy. Today's topic is HRV, one of the most important tools in my toolbox that I seldomly use. So, what is HRV, you ask? Let me show you.
So HRV stands for heart rate variability. I believe we're all familiar with resting heart rate, and that is the lowest average beats per minute when the body's at rest. HRV actually focuses on the timing, the space between heartbeats. While resting heart rate is an average, HRV is the variance of those heartbeats. By regularly measuring the space between your heartbeats, you can start to account for the little millisecond differences between each one of the unique beats because your heart is not beating on a regular tempo like a metronome. What this means is that unlike a resting heart rate that you want a very low number, a high variability or a high HRV is actually indicative of good form and good health. So now that you know about HRV, why does it matter, right? HRV has been used by Olympic athletes for many years now, and of course they have the best toys and the best methods. That's why they're Olympic athletes. But for you and I, this is something that's more recently accessible. And the power of this metric is that it can tell you on the day if today's a day to go hard, or if perhaps you should really be taking a rest day. So that leads to the next question: how do I measure, how do I capture this metric? A number of devices have now hit the market that key off of HRV to give you some type of metric, including some Garmin watches that use it to give you a type of readiness score. But the one that's really taken it to the next level is the Whoop strap. This is a strap that you wear around your wrist 24/7, and it's constantly measuring your activity level during the day and your HRV at night, so that simply by looking at your smartphone, you can see some actionable recommendations as to what your training day should look like. If you're interested in this device, I put a link in the description to my buddy Ed's training blog, who's been using it for Ironman Lake Placid training. For me, however, I don't even like sleeping with a watch, so I needed to find something else, and that's why I went with the Oura Ring. So the Oura Ring is this awesome little device chock full of technology. It is made with this titanium outer shell, so it's really, really tough, very, very durable. I've gone swimming with this thing, pushed off of the wall at the pool. You know, that stuff is really abrasive. There's not a scratch on this thing. Because it's made out of titanium, it's also super, super light. Much, much lighter than any ring I've ever worn. So the magic behind this ring is the 3 sensors that are built into it. There's an accelerometer to detect motion, there's a thermometer that detects your body temperature, and there's of course the heart rate monitor that detects your heartbeat. So the accelerometer picks up your activity throughout the day, but it also picks up when you're restless and moving around while you're sleeping and in bed. The thermometer and the heart rate monitor combined can pick up the exact moment when you fall asleep, and there's no need to press a button to let it know that you're going to bed. It just knows, and it's been incredibly accurate for me. So the Oura Ring comes with this awesome companion app that gives you a ton of information that you can use right away. So one of the things it's doing right off the bat is giving me a recommendation for my ideal bedtime. This is based on my past history. It's giving me some information on my current activity goal, and it's giving me my readiness score. As you can see, it's the recommendation is that I should be easing up today, and that my resting heart rate shows that I might not be fully recovered. As we dig a little bit deeper into that, you will actually be able to see why. And then it gives me some stats on yesterday's sleep. So if I go to the sleep icon at the very bottom, you can see that my sleep was not great, and my resting heart rate was 54 beats per minute. This is very, very high for me. It also provides a whole bunch of information on the sleep stages and how long that I spend in each one of those stages. Here's the rest heart rate averages. if I go and I click that readiness leaf at the bottom, you can now see that the graph at the very top shows my normal resting heart rate for the last couple of days. So my normal is somewhere around between 47 beats per minute and 49 beats per minute, as you can see from the last couple of days, with yesterday being a very, very unusual exception. I'm going to attribute that to some bad dietary decisions I made just before going to bed. But yeah, it took that into consideration. And if I go and I select the heart rate variability, which you see as 33 milliseconds, you'll see that that's actually quite low as well. So this is smart enough to pick up what your normal heart rate variability should be. That's what the dotted line is. It doesn't do it right from day one. It will start to collect information on you, and then it will give you what that average should be. So you can make judgment calls based on information that is unique to you. So as you can see, and for as we previously discussed, you want a high HRV. That means it's a high activity day that I should be having. Because mine is under average, today really should be a rest day for me. So tons of really, really good information. It's picking up the heart rates, the resting heart rate, even picks up restful periods. I didn't have any today, that's why there's nothing happening on there. But the reason why I mentioned while I was on the bike earlier that I seldomly use this is because I don't just look at this and make a decision if whether today should be a go hard day or a go easy day. This is just one thing that informs the decision amongst a number of different things, right? So ultimately you gotta make the decision based on how you feel, what you've done over the past week, what you have on the schedule. But this is definitely an important thing for me that I look at that informs the decision of what my day is going to look like. And there you have it, HRV. In my opinion, one of the most important and underused metrics that an endurance athlete can have in their toolbox. We all know that rest and recovery is just as important as getting those long sessions and hitting those hard days. But that reminds me, it is my time to turn in.
Hey, honey, you want some pie?
Ooh, pie.
I'm gonna smile and say I hope you're feeling better.